Okay, so, yeah, fun thing. I just recorded the Nilou and Spiral Abyss video. It was an hour long. Not much of that was dead space. I'm just saying. Not much of it. So, well, let's go over it. So, as you probably... I expected it a little bit. But you die a lot. Something that I did that I normally don't do is that I buffed the team. Right? I buffed it and I was like, alright, whatever. Get 30% extra healing when you use your burst. That's fine by me. Would be great for me. This team was great. It was doing great. Yelan seriously helped me out so much. I was using Xingqiu before, and I can tell you right now, worst decision. Yelan is better on this team. Don't know why. Well, I know why. Survivability. That is why. This E-skill, the underrating that I did of this E-skill deserves so many apologies. This E-skill saved me so much because not only did it do blooms, it hit blooms, and then what Yelan did, what is her EM, right? Yelan 89 EM plus the sword plus Nahida's Q. So Yelan was proccing blooms and she had like 400 EM. All right, so cool. And then she also did damage with this E skill, but that's not all. She moved, and that was the biggest thing. Moving to get back to Kokomi's fish was so great. So I said at the beginning of the video, specifically chamber 2 and 3. Why do you think chamber 1 did not happen these? Like, look at these enemies. Like, all right, cool. Chamber 1, chamber 2, chamber 3. The reason being is because Nahida actually was able to start off with full HP. That was the biggest difference ever. When I tell you the amount of HP you start off with this team is so crucial, because the moment you switch in Nahida, you better be able to heal her up. Because if she's not healed, you're dying. Those blooms will kill you immediately. The problem that you face in these two chambers is that your Nahida is at 3,000 health at the beginning of the chamber, and you can't do anything about it. If you try and switch in, then a monster hits you for 3,000 damage. They do 3,000 damage on like normal attacks now, so she's very squishy. Once you get past like the mid section of the fight, it's an easy breeze because Nahida's not dying and everything else is dying. Also, these Hydro Hilly Churls, yeah, very annoying because one of them would just stay at the corner. They would just stay at the corner, just sit there and stay. So, very annoying. So, the blooms, I would have to reposition Kokomi's fish. And, yeah, they would... One time they came over. One time that last one came over. And I think that was the actual good run that I did. Out of all of these, Makukinkis were probably the easiest. I think I might have died like 2 or 3 times on them. But I think it didn't take me too many attempts for this. I can't remember the exact numbers for Chamber 1. The real reason why I was failing in Chamber 1 was because of this. This Ruin Hunter would just position himself so high that Raiden wouldn't be able to beat him. Raiden couldn't hit him, and he was just raining down missiles, and I was just sat there, and I was like, all right. Yep, just looking at him. The run was over. The amount of time we had to take to kill this one guy was awful. The run that I did, I used Ito, and that allowed me to 3-star this. And then after that, I switched back to Raiden and cleared all this. Now, obviously, there's a big difference with, switching into C3 Raiden, but I think Ito could have done the same. And if I really wanted to, Yoimiya would have been here. Like, Yoimiya could have been here easily. Yoimiya could have just absolutely destroyed this guy, and Yoimiya could have absolutely destroyed this guy. Would have been fine. Or Hutao. Whatever single target DPS you want. They would have destroyed it just as well as Raiden, I feel like. Maybe not just as well, but, it would have been around the same. Yelan's mobility is severely underrated. I would say we probably won because of Yelan's E-skill, which is very weird. But yeah, being able to reposition yourself with Kokomi, very nice. Also, having to... Oh, right, I have to... Oh, man, I've got to do the showcase for Kokomi. Give me like a month. But besides that, Yelan's doing good damage. She's proccing the blooms with a good amount of elemental mastery, working very well in her favor, right? Everything, her energy was better than Xingqiu's. I got into a good rotation at the end, sort of. Now, don't mind my Kokomi build whatsoever. This was the build that I used, but that was also a problem. Also, 150 ER. I would not expect that. She needs more. She needs more than 150. Also, this is not good. I should have... Prototype Amber would have been better. Oh, yes, I should have gotten Prototype Amber. That would have helped out so much. So that would have helped out so much because of, you know, Nahida being low HP at the beginning. Just use her burst. But I got into a good rotation where on this team I was using Kokomi's E skill, then switching to Nilou, then switching to Yelan, and then, well, I think I might have popped Nahida's Q at the beginning, but that was just because I was using the 30% heal on burst. I mean, her burst duration is 20 seconds. It is... Actually, no. Oh my, it is 24 seconds. Yeah, her burst duration is 24 seconds. Don't think it's a problem. So yeah, use your burst first, and then I would switch into Nahida finally. I would either switch into Nahida or I would switch into Kokomi and use her Q again to refresh the duration of this thing. The biggest thing is I hated this cooldown. Half the time when I was using Kokomi, this thing would end up ending as I switched into Kokomi to refresh it. I've lost like 7 runs today off of that. That is very annoying. But I tried to be as fair as possible to Kokomi when she was doing bad and like when she was obviously, you know, failing. I pointed it out, but I feel like most of the time I was able to distinguish, hey, it's not actually her fault. But yeah, that energy recharge, she needs more. I think maybe like 180 because she did not have her burst. She had her burst up a bit. I wasn't using her burst as soon as it was ready all the time, so maybe that's a problem. But yeah, also Yelan regenerating hydro particles, very nice. I was told by a Kokomi fan that I should take this off of her. Listen, this is giving us a lot of damage, alright? The danger res being decreased is a good damage. Like, that's a good damage increase. And then you say put it on to Nahida, but Nahida's getting, you know, how much? Damage increased by 40%. So yeah, Nahida was doing pretty well. I wasn't looking at the numbers. I'll see when I'm editing whether she was actually the one proccing the blooms, because I will say Kokomi kind of failed me in there. Like Kokomi, a lot of the times before I added Yelan, Kokomi was the one failing me because she was not applying hydro fast enough. So basically, whenever I was waiting for blooms to go and I was like, come on, I would just switch into Yelan after I've been, you know, hitting him with, you know, Nahida and use Yelan's E skill. That helped out so much better. Now, let me switch back to my set that I had on Kokomi. Okay, we're missing like an extra 14,000 HP. That is a huge amount. So we're missing 1,050 healing every single time this thing ticks without that build, right? If I had a full HP set here, obviously we're missing this 20%. But this set is not worth it on this team. Like, nobody's using attack percent. It's actually just not worth it. So, yes. Also, I didn't use Nilou's burst a lot because, well, it's really... You can do okay damage with it, but that's really at higher levels. Like, this thing will scale pretty good. So, that's what I gotta say about using Nilou and Spiral Abyss. At least that's my impression. Like, she's good, but I feel like I really want Baijo. Because without having a consistent way... Like, the problem is with Kokomi, her healing is not attached to the character. When I looked at Mika's details, I was like, oh man, this guy's great. You know, not realizing, you know, his attack speed bonus really sucks. But I was really looking at, like, this extra healing that he has, which is, not only does he get cast healing, which I wish Kokomi did, because that would help out so much. Imagine being able to use Kokomi's burst immediately at the start of a round and having Nahida at, like, full health. Would be great. But I was really excited with this because this was attached to the character. Like, it wasn't something like, oh man, you gotta stay in this one spot. It was attached to the character, which is good. I will always now appreciate that because, like, bursts like this you can get pushed out of. It's the same thing with Cookie. You could just have this and it'll heal you over time. It's not gonna go away. It's just gonna heal you over time. Bennett's buff you can get pushed out of, but you know, you're not really concerned about the regen. You're more concerned about that attack. There's a lot of healing that just is awful because you just get pushed out of it and it's so easily. Like, it's awful. I hate it. And sadly, Kokomi's is one of those, but thankfully, Yelan was able to get us back to the thing. Like, it actually helped quite a bit. Also, Yelan helped us just maneuver out of, like, enemies, stop, like, dogpiling us. Because I think, like, Chamber 2, once you got done with the first phase of Hilichurls, man, that was hard. Like, there was just a whole bunch of things coming at you. I didn't know what I was doing. That's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.